So I can explain, we're going to start with a couple of hearings, and then we're going to move into the general meeting. So our first hearing tonight is an application for multiple amendments. And can I get and this is for the Log Cabin, Delaney House, and D.Hotel and Suites. Can I get a motion to start that hearing?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. And all three commissioners have voted in favor of that. And now, so this is an application for a multiple amendment, and it's the Log Cabin Banquet and Meeting House, doing business as the Log Cabin, 500 Easthampton Road. The Delaney House, Inc., doing business as the Delaney House, 1 Country Club Road. And D.Hotel and Suites, Inc., doing business as D.Hotel and Suites, 1 Country Club Road.
And the multiple amendments is for a change of officer, director, LLC managers, change of corporate structure, and change of managers.
And is anyone here
Yeah, Mick.
from?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you could, do you have anything to say about that? If you want to approach the mic and introduce yourself, because this gets recorded and transcribed into minutes.
Sure. Hi, Mick Kordoff, Log Cabin, Delaney House, and the D.Hotel and Suites. I think you already got to say your address, 74 Madison Ave, Holyoke, Mass. And so there was a partnership buyout, and so we're removing Peter Ross-Cotton as the manager, and my name's going on as the new manager. So it's kind of a straightforward switch.
Yep.
It's taking a lot of paperwork, but we're here, and we're excited, so,
Everything's staying the same, just no ownership.
yeah. Yeah.
Great. Am I supposed to skip anyone from the public? And so, thank you.
Yep.
I don't think, do the commissioners have any questions?
No. None whatsoever.
And is there anyone from the public that wants to speak for or against these changes, these amendments? Okay, so I want to make a motion to close this hearing.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All three commissioners have voted in favor of closing the hearing. Now we're on to our second hearing, which is a new seasonal license application for Jibaritos Sports Club, LLC, 252 Maple Street. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All three commissioners present have voted in favor. Is there, do you want to?
So
Talk about
this,
it
technically it's not a new seasonal license, it's a late renewal, meaning the business did not renew their liquor license on time, so when it's past the due date, they have to renew, they have to fill out a whole new application all over again. So, yeah, it's not like a new business.
Okay. And is there anyone here from Jibaritos Sports Club?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
She has a little
Yeah.
discrepancy.
Oh dear.
do we have to adjust the mic?
Okay,
She's Spanish speaking.
but I speak English too.
Oh, okay.
Well, thanks for coming in. I hope you're on your way to healing.
Thank you.
And I don't generally, I mean, you're just renewing late, so it's going as a new application. I don't have any general questions for you. If you wanted to say anything, or if the other commissioners had any questions.
No
No.
concerns.
No whatsoever.
Yeah.
And do you have anything you want to tell us?
No, thank you very much. So I
Okay.
can do it again.
Yeah, sorry we made you come up for that. Is there anyone from the public that wants to speak for or against this renewal? No? Okay. And so, just so you know the process, after we close the hearing, we go into the regular meeting and then we just vote. And you're going to be this second item on the agenda.
Okay.
And so,
So
all
I
right.
need to wait until everything finished?
Yeah. So we'll have the vote in about 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Until your portion is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I want to make a motion to close this hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All three commissioners present have voted in favor. Now we are back in our regular meeting, and the items that were in the first hearing are now our first items. Can I can take them together? Okay. So now first item on the agenda is is an application for multiple amendment, and it's with the Log Cabin Banquet and Meeting House, doing business as the Log Cabin, 500 Easthampton Road, the Delaney House, Inc., doing business as the Delaney House, 1 Country Club Road, and D.Hotel and Suites, Inc., doing business as D.Hotel and Suites, 1 Country Club Road. Does anyone,
Move to approve.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of this application for multiple amendment. Our second item now is for the new seasonal license application for Jibaritos Sports Club LLC. I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Can I get
Second
a-
that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of approving that new seasonal license.
You're all
Now
set.
we're all set.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda are 2024 new motor vehicle licenses. Separately?
Yes.
Okay. So the first new motor vehicle license is for Holyoke Motors LLC, 263 Hampden Street. This is a Class 2.
So this used to be a supermarket, a convenience store, and the owner is now turning it into a Class 2 sales. And they do have a special permit per the city council. They are allowed 10 vehicles on premise. So now they need our license to actually do, the sales of the cars. And the owner is on Zoom if anybody has any questions.
Can you clarify the location again?
263 Hampden Street, so it's the old Denison's Mini Market next to like Scott's.
Yeah, like on the corner of Walnut or Oak.
Yes.
Whichever. Okay.
Yeah, so now it's gonna be a motor vehicle sales.
Okay. Does it operate both businesses? Like there's a car dealership on the side, or is it?
No, that's Adams Auto Sale.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But previously for the sort of convenience store that was there, are they also going to operate the convenience store?
No, so it's no longer gonna be a convenience store. Now it's gonna be a motor vehicle sales.
Just for that purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Just for sales, and they have a special permit for the usage.
Good. Okay.
And everything's in, like insurance,
All
fire
paperwork's in
approval,
order.
building approval, everything's in.
Okay, make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted to approve this new motor vehicle license. Our next motor vehicle license is for Brian Laflamme Trucks and Equipment Sales, Inc., 5 Anderson Hill. This is also a Class 2.
Yes. So this address previously was under Laflamme's Trucks, Inc., and Brian did a whole new corporation, so now it's Brian Laflamme's Trucks and Equip Sales. So he has to basically apply for a new license. He did not get charged. It was just a matter of handing in the required paperwork and getting it approved in tonight's meeting.
Okay, so very license.
And he's all set with everything.
Move to approve.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of this new motor vehicle license.
I will
Now-
call you when the license is ready.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Good luck. Have a
luck.
good night.
Thank you.
go ahead.
So next we have 2024 tables and chairs separately.
Yes.
And the first table and chairs is for Cayey Bar, 273 Main Street.
So there's no paperwork. I have pictures, but it completely slipped my mind to print them. He wants to have Domino's tables on Spring Street side, Wednesday through Sunday from like 6 to 10. He does know that he needs a DPW permit as well as insurance to extend the sidewalk.
And that'll be for Cayey, right?
Yep, on the Spring Street side.
Yeah.
Yep. But there hasn't been any issues with this bar or anything.
Okay.
So
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of this table and chair license for Cayey Bar. Next table and chairs license is for Fiesta Café, 305 to 307 Main Street.
he's requesting tables and chairs in 2 tables in front of his restaurant. So it's just 2 small little tables with 2 chairs. You have seen it?
Yeah, you can fit
He's
that
done it
there.
before, right?
He has.
Okay.
Now he's just getting a license for it.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of this table and chairs for Fiesta Café. Now we're on to special one-day licenses, which I will take separately.
Yes.
So our first special one-day license is for Nuveva Esperanza, Inc., doing business as Fiesta Patronales.
No, it's not doing business. It's Nueva Esperanza.
Oh,
It's
Fiesta-
for
oh,
the
sorry.
Fiesta
Event is
Patronales
Fiesta
event.
Patronales.
Sorry.
that's okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, this is on
It's in August.
This is for this 4-day
August
event.
1st to the 4th, 2024, for
Yeah.
4 days. And this is, right, this is the festival.
Yeah.
And so this, the security is gonna be like Holyoke Police
Yeah.
and State Police and
Yeah.
everything provided, so, yeah. And I really like, to be honest, because I noticed some of the other applications had like I have to question some of the security where they put NA.
Yeah.
So if you wanna tell this licensee, I really appreciate the way they detailed the police that are gonna be there.
Okay.
I thought that was really good.
Mm.
So everything's in except liquor liability, but as the time gets closer, they will take out the policy for the festival.
Is this the same arrangement that was done last year?
So the motion to be made would be contingent upon liquor liability?
Yeah, because she's applying ahead of time, which is good, because the event's not until August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Make a motion, we approve contingency that the liability insurance, it gets showed up to the license board.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of this one-day license. Our next one-day license is Hidden Tradition Distilling Company, Inc., and this is at the Holyoke Pride Festival.
Yeah. So it's for beer and wine. Is this one?
And, okay, so this one has 800 people attending, but it shows security as NA.
So from my understanding, he's just a vendor. I don't know if he really knows the security details or not,
Okay,
but he is just participating as an alcohol vendor.
and so the city will handle the security on this?
Kathy McKean from Holyoke Arts is here, and she's on number 5, so when her item comes up, she can probably give us details about the security plan.
Can we?
Why don't we take it out of order and have her come up?
Yeah. I was gonna suggest that.
There you go. Great minds
You
think
made-
alike.
So we're talking about Holyoke Art
Holyoke
Inc.
Arts.
Okay, so we're gonna
Yeah.
jump, so, make a motion now to jump out of line and take the special one-day license for Holyoke Art Inc. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. You were,
Yeah.
okay, so all 3 commissioners present have voted in favor, so,
Is this one?
oh, you put it up, right, thanks,
Yep.
I was reading.
So there's 2 applications. One is for the festival between 12 and 6. The second one is for the block party at 386 Dwight Street, which is the Fame's parking lot, and that's from 6 to 11.
11.
So it's different hours, both, that, for both licenses.
And so, I guess the question is the
The question is
security.
security.
Yeah, so,
The
What-
security at Veterans
Park.
Park, we've
Yes.
already discussed at a Flex Squad meeting, and that's all set, as far as I know. It will be police, Holyoke
Okay.
Police.
So it's been
Detail.
discussed and the Holyoke Police are handling it? That was-
Yes.
And so that was our main question for the other licensee, because they just put NA.
Right,
And
but
so
he
we need a
didn't
little more
know.
information than that usually.
Right,
But to know that the city's handling security.
absolutely.
Okay, great.
And for
Yep.
the block party, the same thing for the block party?
The block party is different. They have privately looked at getting security there, since it is not on city property, so.
Okay.
Okay, it does say police on duty, but you will be sure to have some
Yes.
personnel
There is
response.
one?
Right, They're
Okay.
Like a
paying
detail
for,
police
they're
officer.
paying for that.
Oh, that's fine.
Police
Private.
on duty means you're paying someone.
Yes,
Right, it's not
Yes.
the police, it's not the Holyoke police that are just happen to be on duty that day.
correct.
Great.
That's a helpful clarification.
That's good.
Okay.
Yep. And everything's in good order
So
otherwise?
the, what's missing is payment and liquor liability. So Kathy's
Right.
and permission from the property owner, just stating it's okay that he's aware that alcohol will be sold on premise.
Correct.
An email is fine, nothing.
Okay.
Too crazy. So.
Yep.
As you know, I can't release the permit until I receive payment and insurance.
Absolutely. So
So it's,
I'll work it out with my,
Yeah.
the provider, the insurance provider, and we'll have everything together,
Yep.
and I'll pay at that time.
Yep.
so it's it's contingent for 3 items, payment, liquor liability, and approval by the owner?
Yes.
Okay. So, Commissioners, do you have anything else before I make the motion?
No?
Nope.
Okay, so, and that's true for both events?
Yes.
Okay.
She don't know, the property owner, she doesn't.
Oh,
need
she only need property owner
for
for the fame-
Veterans
for only
Park
the fame parking lot.
Because DPW handles that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all, I just wanted to be clear on the motion. Okay, yes, I got that. So I want to make a motion to approve the 2 one-day licenses for Holyoke Art Inc. One is at the Holyoke Pride Festival, and that'll be on June 22nd, 12 to 6. And that is contingent upon payment and liquor liability. And the second one is the Holyoke Pride Block Party, June 22nd, 6 to 11. And that is contingent upon payment, liquor liability, and approval to use the parking lot by the owners.
Yep.
Can I,
So moved,
uh,
or seconded.
Second.
Good, maybe.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor of this license. So
Great.
thank you, and thank you for coming up and clarifying
you.
the security.
Thank
you. No
And good
problem.
luck with the event.
Sure. Thank you. You guys are not leaving yet, right?
No.
Because we have 48 more.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Okay, and now we're back to,
Oh, Paraiso.
Hidden
Number
tradition.
2.
hidden,
Hidden
we're
tradition.
judging the hidden traditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh, thanks. And so now we know the security there is going to be provided by the Holyoke Police. And I have nothing further on this.
Make a
Everything's
motion to
good?
approve?
Pending payment and liquor liability.
Okay. Make a motion we approve pending that payment
yep.
and the liquor liabilities get provided.
Yes.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted in favor. Thanks for organizing.
Yeah.
And, okay. Now we're at
Oh, Paraiso.
El Paraiso Colombiano at the Holyoke Pride Festival. And this is going to be on June 22nd, 12 to 7. It's for 100 people. And it looks like it's the Holyoke Police Department.
Mhm. Same thing, liability and payment.
Move to approve contingent upon delivery of liability and payment.
Second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All 3 commissioners present have voted for this one-day license. Next, and that one's done. And the final one-day license is for White Lion Brewing Company, and this is Holyoke Pride Festival and Holyoke Pride Block Party. And so now we also know the Veterans Park is, I mean, they put skips, so you just may want to let them know that that's not what we mean by that. So we know the security is going to be the
Police.
Holyoke Police,
Yes.
and
Yep, so it's the same thing. One's for the festival,
Festival,
the second
yeah.
one's for the block party. They
Here.
won't coincide with each other
other.
at all.
right, because you can't pull a permit.
Can't have, yeah,
The same person can't have 2 parties going at the same time.
right. And it's liquor liability, sorry, not liquor liability, I just received that, just pending payment.
Okay, so I want to make you ready?
Sure.
I want to make a motion to approve these events for the White Lion Brewing Company at the Holyoke Pride Festival and Holyoke Pride Block Party. And these are both on June 22nd and It's pending
Payment.
and it's contingent upon payment. Can I get a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay, moving quick. Now we're on to open air licenses, and we have 47 of them, and I know we can take them all at once because I asked you already.
Because they're all for Holyoke Pride. For
Good.
the Holyoke Pride events.
So these are all the different
Vendors, they're all temporary.
47?
All right,
Wow,
that's an event,
that's an event.
and we need to read through them.
He needs to.
Well, I need to read the names.
We can take them all in a group because it's all the same thing pending payment, but Holyoke Arts will be taking care of that once the, before the permits get released.
And I guess I'll read them first, then I have a comment. So these are all temporary, so I won't say temporary each time. Light Up Inn,
Smarray.
Smarray Fashions, Baked with Pride, Bodester's Pet Boutique, Rocky's Moon, Patch Rabbit, Raven Hollow Farm, Deb's Swinsky Art, Timely Wimey Woolly Stuff, Twisted Creations, Frobel Art, The Nerdy Duck, Sunny Stitches Crochet, Spiral Star Design, Kyle Cortez, Gail B. Cortez, Found and Faded, Alexis Creative Spark, Robin G. Photo Art, Soie Noir, Black Designs, Queen Persephone Arts, Blue Angel Flame Company, From the Desk of Emma, Thrifty Gifty, The Fantasies of Youth, Dragonlight Designs, Witch Mother Designs, Mylan Designs, Divinland Countdown, Art Vendor, Namarta Shah, Art by Leslie Grace, Resilient Community Arts, High Five Books, Silly Goose's Printing, Hawsong Weaving, Nico's Fan Niche, My Monster Hat, Havelock Farm Soap, Follies, Caroline's Crochet Cuddles, The Darth Knitta, Tetabead Yourself, Paper City Art Kids, Holyoke Arts, and Raybellas. Everything's in?
Except payment.
Except payment. And so I also just wanted to make a little request maybe for the future, because I know all these came in on Friday at once, and that's not a lot of lead time for our office. That's a lot of work in like a day that Alex has to get done. So if you could in the future, we'd really appreciate it if you get it in earlier than like 2 days before, a day before she makes the agenda up. If that, thank you.
Make that a priority for the committee.
Thank you.
Just payment.
Okay, so I want to make a motion to approve these contingent upon payment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All three commissioners present have voted for this. Thank you. Good luck with the festivals and everything, and happy Pride. Now we're on to old business, and we have, is Officer Zerhidi here yet?
Yes, he is.
Oh, great. And I think I say your, is it how does it pronounce? So Zerhide, sorry. I tried to make it a little more. Okay. So now we have One Stop Discount Liquor Store on the agenda, and I guess I should start with the officer.
Sure.
Before we do begin, I do believe that this license holder is represented by Toby Wilson. He had reached out. He was having trouble reaching the office today. He may be on the Zoom call or may be coming onto the Zoom call very soon. But there was some outreach, and I can also text him
Oh, he's
very
calling
quickly
me.
now. Okay.
Hello? Yeah, no, just our number is came, that's why they are waiting. Our turn, no, nobody is waiting, our turn is coming right now. I'm speaking behalf of you.
You want to wait for the attorney?
Let's give him enough time to sign on to the Zoom anyway.
Oh, he-
Sure. Oh, yeah.
That's fine, right?
Just request that he get signed into the Zoom.
Feels good.
Yeah, even to dial in on his phone.
You said he's coming in, like?
No, he's not coming.
He's not coming, not through Zoom?
No.
No, okay.
He's-
He's on the phone now.
He was on phone and he said, you need me over there, that's why he said. But he's Springfield, that's why he's coming here, then take time.
Okay.
That's why I said, fine, we are gonna speak.
So, do
Do
you
you wanna
want us to wait
wait?
a little while?
For Toby, because
No,
that's,
we don't want to wait.
Okay, okay,
And
okay.
this is recorded, so he can
Yeah.
look back and see what's going on. I just want to give you a fair opportunity to have his assistance.
so I just did want to speak real quick.
Sure.
So Friday, when I was making the agenda, I had put a note that there have been no complaints since last time One Stop was here. And then I received 2 complaints yesterday. So you guys, I believe you guys have 1.
Yes.
And then this is the second one from a different.
No, I lost mine, that I gave everyone a copy.
But
Oh, here it is.
the officer can speak on how, because they are,
Yeah.
Holyoke PD is tapped into their camera system.
Yeah.
Oh, you have Sarah's?
No, I don't have Sarah's. Yeah, so before everyone before you speak, we're gonna have Officer Zahid speak first, but we're just gonna cover these emails and not a big, so if you could just sit for now, because we don't need you to speak yet, thank you. So, just so these get read into the record, hi Alexandria, I believe the One Stop is on tomorrow's agenda for discussion. My impression is that security at One Stop has gotten worse since I last wrote to the board. We're suspecting more gang activity than previously, and I honestly am nervous to walk with my toddler in front of our home. Trash continues to be a major problem, and as like every year, when the weather improves, there is a lot more noise and hanging out around the establishment. It's pretty terrible to not feel safe in your own neighborhood, and I strongly feel One Stop is the reason. Thank you, Sarah. Now, you replied to her. Do you want to tell us just what you...
Yeah, so, our license board, our purview is liquor license. It's not gang activity, it's not, everything that she stated, our purview is the liquor license. So if people were drinking inside, that's something we can take up. If there was people buying alcohol and coming outside and drinking, that's something we can take up. So I basically told her that in an email, and when she sees illegal activity, she needs to reach out to the police. Because we can't
Yeah.
protect anyone.
Agreed.
That's not our job.
We're not the police.
Yeah.
We're the license board. Okay, thank you. And so then we got a second email from Connor Bavin, who is the CEO of the YMCA. Good afternoon. I hope this finds you well. He sent it to both. He somehow got my personal email. I'm not sure how, but sent it to Alex and myself. My name is Connor Bavin, and I am an incoming CEO of the Greater Holyoke YMCA. I've been in this role for approximately 8 weeks and am a third-generation Holyoke resident. I noticed that One Stop is scheduled to be on the board agenda for the upcoming meeting and wanted to share my thoughts on the business entity. While I am uncertain what community feedback you are looking for, I would like to share that as a longtime resident and now employee who works directly across from the business, it is my perspective that there is considerable risk associated with business operations. The risk includes high volume of loitering, public consumption of alcohol, and continuous source of trash, as well as debris and much more. My question to the board, and in support of longstanding residential feedback, what are the corrective actions being put in place to ensure our neighborhood remains a safe, positive environment? Please note that the Greater YMCA has more than 3,000 members, serving more than 500 adults, families, and youth per day. Safety is a top priority for us as an organization and want to help support in any and all conversations. And so I replied to this, and what I said was, hi Connor, we're looking for more than just community feedback. We need residents to call the Holyoke Police Department when they see issues so that situations are handled by the HPD and police reports get filed. Calls to the police and filed reports are the documentation that the license board needs to take action. If we don't have that documented and take action, then the licensee will fight us on a state level and get our decision reversed. I drove by the one stop this morning around 11:20, because this came yesterday, and everything looked to be in order. Shutters were up, no one was loitering, and there was no visible litter. One Stop agreed to have 3 cameras installed, and the police will be updating the license board at tomorrow's meeting on how everything is going. If there were issues over the past 8 weeks, then the residents hopefully contacted the police when they occurred. I will present your email to the other commissioners at tomorrow's meeting. Thanks for taking your time to reach out, and they signed it. So that was my reply, and so basically, I'm just saying we need to hear from our police department to see what's going on, and that if there are issues happening, then the residents just need to call the police, which will then be documented. So, Officer Zerhaid, could you come up, please, and give us an update on the status?
Yes, thank you for having me tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you for coming in and taking the time.
Not a problem. So I have been looped in on what's going on, the complaints about One Stop, and we have had prior discussions. Since the last time that we met, the owners, Mr. and Ms. Patel, they have installed the security cameras that they were asked to install, that they agreed to. They installed them. We do have them up on our camera system. They're active and working. They've been, this is unbiased. I have nothing against or for them. Just what we were trying to arrange. They've been a pleasure to work with. He's kind of answered every question that we've had on time. In addition to the 3 cameras, they also they installed no trespass, no loitering signs, and no alcohol drinking signs. We asked them to also call the police if there's any issues that they see, not just relying on the citizens in the neighborhood. I checked our dispatch logs. They have called. They've called multiple times now. One was for somebody drinking out on the sidewalk. They called and reported it. And they called when somebody was causing a disturbance in the store. Other than that, we have well over 100 and something documented checks by patrol officers over the last month or two. And during those times, I'd say a vast majority, about 95% of them, I don't have the exact numbers, but just off the top of what I was looking at least 95% of them, the officers said that there was nothing going on at the time, no loiterers. There were a handful of times where they did see people, and they asked them to move along, because we do have to be careful that just standing on the sidewalk, it's not a crime.
Right.
But we do tell them, hey, listen, there's people in the neighborhood, if they're blocking the sidewalk, but listen, like, we're trying to just get people to move along. And 99% of the time, they're more than happy to say, yep, not a problem, and kind of keep going. But other than that, that's the update I have. They've complied with the cameras. They've complied with the shutters being open. Officers have gone into the store. It is clean every time we've gone in there. There's nothing obstructing the doorway. And we have set up our mobile community policing tent in that area on the corner at least 2 or 3 times now since we started it up last month.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
We just appreciate your time coming here and actually all this information that you're giving us.
Yeah.
Seems like there's real good mutual cooperation between the police department and the One Stop Liquor. So
The only thing I didn't say was that there was one phone call to the police department from citizens complaining about people out front, and we sent cruisers that time. But that was the only one that I could find over the last 3 months.
One complaint, okay.
One complaint.
Yeah.
thank you.
I mean, this is really positive feedback in terms of, hearing from a separate source than just the owner that there's some serious effort and attention to the safety plan that has been worked on together. I think the ongoing vigilance of the neighbors does need to be taken into account and does matter. But, word may not have gotten out to some problematic figures that it's a different environment now. Hopefully that will catch on. But I do think we're going to want to continue to, be responsive if we have outreach from folks in the neighborhood. Appreciate that will be happening on an ongoing basis as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with you. We do have a large transient population downtown. A lot of people do walk. Sometimes they do congregate to talk, and we try to make it a point that that's not a spot that we really need people to hang out and talking in front of.
I think that's very good. I will also just note that I did have an additional communication from Attorney Wilson indicating he is on his way. I responded to him, okay, your client suggested you wouldn't be coming, we are on the issue now. So he's at least as informed as possible, but I actually think wouldn't change the information we're
I
dealing
don't
with
think
right
so.
now. So I think we're okay, and he can access this to see what transpired.
And I guess, your professional opinion, would you think the license board, as far as having check-ins over the next few months, do you think we're good for the remainder of their license to, or do you think we need to have additional check-ins?
Everything, I know there is some concern with the residents in the area that we've all seen the reports. But everything from the police standpoint, everything we've asked him to do, he's complied right on time. So as a business owner, he is, at least from our point of view, he is trying to help. He's provided us everything we've wanted and needed. And as long, I think it really, some of the issues like that was quoted in the most recent complaint is more of a police department issue rather than the business owner issue.
Yes.
Fair.
And that's why our captains have directed patrols to make sure they frequent the area more often, making sure they're calling it out on the radio so it's logged in the dispatch logs when they're checking and what they're finding when they check.
And that will continue?
That will continue. And the same thing with the mobile policing tent that gets put in different various locations, but I make sure that it does go to the Pine and Suffolk Street area every once in a while.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, for everyone involved, really, appreciate both the effort and the fact that it will continue.
And, Mrs. Patel, would you like to say anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So we should have a little discussion. What do you, so their license right now is approved till next
June 12th.
June
June
12th.
12th, okay.
So,
There's 6 months left to the year. June, July, August, September, October. 4 months into our next renewal. So I don't know if that helps them on extending it for the remaining of the
We should.
year, because we do have renewals in 4 months again.
I think we should stand it, and all the information that we're hearing is in a positive way.
Yes.
And yeah, some of the complaints that we continue to hear, which is, they're quite valid also, but they should be addressed more towards the police department itself,
yeah,
like
and
the
that's
officer
gonna,
said.
yeah. And any complaints Alex and I receive, our reply is going to be that, it needs to be documented with the police so that that can be presented to the license board. And just a complaint that that you don't like what you see, that's not backed up by the police, we could take it into some consideration, but it doesn't have a lot of bearing on the board.
Agreed.
Unless
Right.
we have police documentation that there are issues happening.
That's right. And I agree. The good faith and the good effort means I don't think we have to make them repeatedly come in
Right.
for very short license renewals at this point. They will still certainly, I'm sure, be responsive if there's a reason to come in during the ongoing period. So
Yes.
I think that mechanism is no longer necessary.
And I know by my own experience, when I have an issue at my house and I call the police, they are always responsive. It may take them a little while if they're on another call, but the police are always responsive to my calls. Last year I had 2 stolen cars in front of my house, and the police were there in minutes to 2 Hyundais. That's the thing going on. So I know the police are very responsive.
Good.
So,
All right.
Oh, okay.
We cleaning every time, like twice a day. We clean whatever we see the outside, and we immediately clean the outside. That's
I felt it looked really clean when I just happened to, I had to go to City Hall to re-sign in for my next appointment for the license board, and I happened to drive by your store
Yeah.
on my way home, and I thought it looked really good. It was painted, the shutters were up, and there was no litter, so I thought it looked really good.
And we will try our best. Still continue.
Thank-
I'm not saying like we are done, but we
Right.
are keep our doing best.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you too.
Yes.
Is there a motion,
So,
someone?
Yes,
Oh,
there
go
has,
ahead.
no, there has to be a motion.
Right,
Yeah.
we have to be a motion. Would you like to make a motion?
So what's the end date of the
December
renewal?
thirty-first
December
of
31st.
2024. So we would be extending it in normal till December 31st, 2024.
Okay, and the reapplication period's the 4 months you were referring to before?
Yep, and then renewal time is in October. They'll get their packet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I move that we renew the license for the remainder of the term to December 31st.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All three commissioners present have voted in favor to extend now this license till December 31st, 2024.
Yep.
And so it now ends as all the other liquor licenses, well,
Yeah.
not seasonal.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same date.
Yeah.
So your license now is valid till the end of the year.
Yep. So if you wanna come in Friday, not tomorrow, but at least,
Because we have until.
yeah, but come in Friday and I'll have your new license with the new expiration date.
Thank you so much.
Yep, good luck.
And
Good
thank you for
job.
that effort to get it cleaned up,
No, we
and please
were-
keep it going.
Yes,
We were trying and we will.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Now we're on to new business, and the first item is Michael Auto Sales Gold Star Service, 11 Lincoln Street. And this has to do with, do you want to do it? Or do you want me to? It has to do with an email,
Yes.
where it's actually multiple people contacting us about this.
The Board of Health Director, this is his email.
So Timothy Rivers is the Director of the Board of Health for Holyoke. Should I read it into the record?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. In the past 2 weeks, I've received 2 complaints about the condition of 11 Lincoln Street. There is a fence falling down. As the health department, I tell them to fix or remove the fence because it's now considered refuse. However, without the fence, it would appear to be a junkyard in a residential area. I'm unsure if licensing has a mandatory fencing requirement around this type of establishment, or if zoning can help because the property report card lists this as an R2 on our end. Colton will cite overgrown vegetation, refuse, not the fence at this time, and external resources.
So we have Davin from the city of Holyoke. He is our zoning officer on Zoom. And we also have Counselor Meg McCarth Smith on. They're both concerned about this property. Checking my email, I just received 2 pictures that one of the residents sent to the Board of Health. I don't know if you guys want to look at that. And then I also received this prior to the meeting today, but like 4 o'clock.
That's the fence in question.
And so this is,
Just the Board of Health citing for exactly what they stated on the email. But I don't know if Davin, if you want to chime in.
And Alex, I'm here too, Tim River.
Oh, hi, Tim. Tim is the
Hi,
Board of
hi,
Health
I found on my
Director.
call.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. So, yeah, that for us on the Board of Health end, we tried looking into how many cars they had. I guess they got licensed for a fair amount more cars last year at, I think it was around 57. And I believe they can be in any condition. And then we have, the complaints with the fence and we just cited overgrown vegetation as well. So we're just kind of looking into seeing if anything can be done, maybe with the amount of cars or if there's a fencing requirement to just make that area look a little neater. Oh, also, too, we're checking on the gas pump with Mass DEP to see if there's any regulation against having old gas pumps there and not doing anything with them and using them as parking spaces for the additional cars.
So do you want to stay or do you want me to stay about the car issue?
yes. No, I would like, so about the, wait.
Do we have a copy of the license?
So on the second page, they have so this was from an older license.
That's from 2021. I was going through his file and I found an email because I guess this address has always been a problem with the way it looks. So last year he came in with a plan and we kind of extended the amount of cars. Well, after reading and doing our policy and procedure manual,
Well,
the license board
board.
cannot increase the number of vehicles. Some of the spots were like the parking,
We're gas pumps.
the gas pumps.
He's
He's
parking-
not supposed to have cars parked
Park-
there.
So I think, sorry, can I go now? Sorry. So I think what Alex is saying, according to our policy and guideline, he had a limitation of 22 vehicles back in 2021, and we approved the plan he came in for a larger amount, and according to our guidelines of the license board, we're not supposed to increase parking.
So are we talking about the guidelines we just recently passed?
Yes.
But we made this approval before we approved the guidelines.
Exactly.
That was already in there.
But we
As a
hadn't,
draft.
but,
As a draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not guidelines
Okay.
yet.
Exactly.
So what is the number of cars what is the maximum number of cars that we told him he was
He-
allowed to have?
He bought in a plan with 57 cars, and that's exactly what the
Okay.
board granted him.
And that was
Based on the
based
plan.
on the plan that showed lines that were drawn that he's supposed to be keeping those cars within.
Yeah.
Including the gas pumps.
Okay.
and so how do we, can you give us more information about the gas pumps being illegal? to
No,
park
no,
the
there
car?
is, so the gas pumps haven't been running in years. It's a huge safety issue, so we don't know what's under there, how bad it is. He hasn't gotten inspected. That's why Tim is going to reach out to DPH. God forbid something happens, those cars are just gonna, like, those are not parking spaces. That is a gas pump.
But we saw the pictures.
Yeah, we
with
have
the
to
land when
follow
we
up
made
with
the
the
approval
DEP
back
on
in the day.
that.
Excuse me?
We saw the pictures when we made the approval.
Yeah, it was,
Okay.
yeah, it was.
We made the approval.
Yeah. So before we
Is it
go any
possible-
further, I do know Counselor
Yeah.
McGrath Smith has her hand up for some comments or questions.
Thank you. So I just wanted to name that a number of abutters have reached out to me to ask, and one of my questions is around noticing. Does the licensing board have noticing requirements around having to notice neighbors when a change is going to be occurring in the use of a property like this that's so embedded in a neighborhood? Because, and there actually had been abutters over time who had been going to the licensing board to push for that property to be maintained in different ways. And the biggest way they were able to push for it was because the license said that they had to be registered cars. And so they had to be in some kind of use, right? They had to be in some sort of status. When the licensing board changed it from 20 to 57 and changed it to any state, it really changed it in use to a junkyard. Where the cars are being kept and maybe salvaged for parts, and they're no longer allowed, needed to be registered, which means they don't have to be in any kind of state. So the neighbors are concerned about what's happening to the property since, and they have no record of being noticed. And a number of them have followed this property for a number of years, have lived next to them for many years, and know they have been noticed at different times, different things, but weren't noticed for the change from 20 to 57, or from the change in the cars, from having to be registered to it's okay for them to be in any state. And they feel like the property's gone downhill since that change was made, but now there's almost no leg for them to stand on to push for it to be different.
Thank
So-
you, Megan.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, I'd like to push a motion that we revoke the additional spaces and we enforce back to this 2021 ruling of 12 vehicles for repair and 10 vehicles for sales. And that is my opinion, that we should reverse what we did and push it back into this state and force the licensee to apply by these numbers.
To answer your questions, Meg, he is supposed to have all cars registered, and that is on his license. That was a part of his condition.
Correct.
Another condition that the board gave him was he is supposed to keep, upkeep with the property. It's not supposed to look like a junkyard. It's supposed to be maintained and clean. All those, things are on his license. And as far as the registration, he came in and provided like numbers and a book stating that all the cars were registered. He runs a class 2 sales, which means he's selling cars, and a repair, which means he's repairing. So that's what's supposed to be taking place at that location.
Right. And I do recall that we were pretty consistent about requiring that he's inventorying those cards properly, that they should, any enforcement personnel should be able to go on there and ask him to produce the list of cars and be able to go and verify what is there, that it's not an excessive number, and so forth. So I don't know if that has occurred. What I am seeing is
But that list was produced back in, whenever we produced that list, the inventory would have changed by now. So
right.
that
He's
list-
supposed to
that-
maintain it,
Yeah, he is. Every new car that comes in, they're supposed to be registered.
and I believe
Right,
that's a
but-
state
but
law.
What I'm saying, the
It is a
inventory,
state law.
the inventory we required him to do, I don't know that we told him he had to continue to maintain that inventory.
It
that's
doesn't
part of the
matter if we
law. He's
told him or
supposed
not,
to.
That's the law.
And I do believe that was said to him.
Yeah,
I actually do recall that.
Yeah.
So, because we knew that hadn't been the case prior to having him in. So with all that having been said, the main issue I'm looking at is that, we do have a citation issued today that does have to be complied with. And, I would even consider the condition of the fence to be a form of litter. It's obviously encroaching on a neighbor's property from the photograph that we just saw. That's not acceptable. There is a question in front of us that frankly I don't have an answer to about what the relationship to a license and the placement of a fence is. That's kind of a novel question. I don't know. It seems though that if there is dilapidated fencing, there are requirements about fencing in general under our building code. So
Yeah.
if that is, if the state of the fence is so bad that the fence either has to be removed or replaced, I don't know if our license gives us the leverage to say you have to have a fence. And I don't know what the state of that is in the building in the building code, but the building department's here. Maybe they can speak to that, or maybe this, what I think is kind of a novel question, needs to go to the law department to get some clarity.
What question,
there-
what question needs to
This,
go to the department?
regarding whether our
Fence.
license can require a fence or not. Because obviously the neighbors want a fence that's in proper condition and not falling over into the neighboring property.
Well, it seems to me the question here, the fence itself at this point is trash, and that should be addressed. Whether he has a fence or not, the fence only covers up the fact that it's a junkyard.
And it should be
And I think
addressed,
that's what needs to be addressed,
But the
is that
question
we are
is-
allowing a junkyard in
the
Holyoke.
question is, should be addressed by the license board commission, or it should be addressed by the health department?
A building. So Davin, if you
Because they are the
want,
one who looked
The
at properties.
Yes,
We can issue
That's right.
remove the
That's where it
fence. I just
belongs.
didn't know if it was a requirement for the fact that the neighbors now have to look at a junkyard.
yeah, in other words, it could make them
didn't
worse
know.
off, right?
Right. So that's why we didn't cite the fence. Yeah.
Yeah. So I certainly think there's a lot of value in the three departments working together
Yeah.
to use our combined enforcement capacity to get this property in a better state. I think that's something to be working on. But my biggest question here is, where are the Lemkes?
so this is just a discussion. Mr. Lemke was informed, he was left a voicemail. It was too short notice, he would not have received a letter on time.
Okay.
He was informed that he was gonna be a topic on the agenda, but it was just a discussion. Most likely, I'm gonna have to send an invite, a letter for him in June to invite him to July, and then we kind of
Exactly.
Right.
make the decision.
Nothing can be acted on it today, such as what you suggest earlier, because the
Right, so
person-
I would
we
not
bring the
second
person
that
in.
at this point.
But we, as a licensed board, that's something we like to do, but today, this is an unbelievable, I think, mess, and I think, again, you know my position of what I'd like to do as far as revoking the spaces we gave and requiring him to, and only licensing him for 12 vehicles for repair and licensing him for 10 vehicles for auto, and then those 10 vehicles for auto then have to be in running condition, and the only ones that are not required to be running are 12. So he needs to have 10 vehicles on his lot with for sale signs on them that are in running condition for sale, and 12 vehicles on repair.
And this is why we need to bring him to the meeting to make him aware of all those things.
Right. I'm not going to
The
second that
proposed
motion
changes that we're
today.
trying to do.
Okay.
We're gonna just arbitrarily just make them.
What I would suggest, so I will make a motion to table, but with the motion to table, a couple of suggestions. First, I think we should be looking with great interest at the speed and willingness with which the owners respond to the Board of Health's notice that they were delivered today, because these are forthwith response orders, are they not? I would.
Yes, I believe we gave them about 9 days.
Yeah, June
Great.
13th.
And that's like kind of standard.
Yeah,
And I'm quite pleased that different departments are working together on the same issue.
that's right. Working together, I think.
That makes a big difference.
Right.
In this case.
Yeah.
And certainly, I think the letter, as you suggested, should go out to give them more than reasonable notice to be present at our next meeting. And I think this will certainly be an important topic for us to prioritize at our next meeting. And finally, I do think the question of, if the choice should not be a choice between a dilapidated fence and having to view a terrible-looking property next door, the question that needs to get answered is, do we have the capacity to require a proper fence? And I wonder if that question couldn't, between now and July,
So Davin,
be sent out to respond for
Is-
more
is-
detail.
go ahead, Davin.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. That's something in the zoning ordinance to, unlike uses, should be separated by a fence. I had received complaints about this property a lot. It seemed like there were bigger problems there, so the fence wasn't a priority, but I will absolutely make that a priority now, if we're all, gonna do something about it.
Yes,
Appreciate that, yeah.
absolutely. And so with that, my motion would be to table, anticipating these things will be in place for the July meeting.
Okay, and I just want to put on the record, this problem has been problematic over the years. This is not the first complaint, it's always had issues, so I just want to state that.
Yeah, we are well aware.
And so I'm going to ask for all in favor in a second. I'm just going to state, I'm not going to vote in favor of this because I don't want to table this today, and I would have liked to take action. So, a motion was made. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Commissioner Marty and Commissioner Correra have voted in favor, and Commissioner Luciano has voted against the motion to table.
I think I'll see you in July.
Thank you for coming in. Do you have any other questions or comments for us?
I just wanted to, one question.
I said no.
Sorry, I thought you were calling on me, my apologies. Go ahead, Tim.
I just said no, I don't have anything.
I had a question around if the licensing board could ask for information around how many cars have been repaired this year, how many cars have been sold. It would just give us a sense of how the property is being used and if it's in alignment with the license that he has.
Yeah. So I would move that we request of the license holder that he produce evidence that he is in compliance with the inventorying requirements of state law by the next meeting.
Thank you. I really appreciate all of your work on this.
I'll second that.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I would agree to that motion as well. I would agree to that motion. So all three commissioners present have voted in favor of that.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Really appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
I see two police reports here. We're at Deja Vu.
Yes.
now we're at
Deja Vu. under new
wait.
business.
No, I'm on the wrong page. I lost my,
Agenda, second page right here.
Do you want to?
no, I'm good, sorry. Yeah, so now we're on to Deja Vu Nightclub, 414 High Street. On June 1st, there was an incident where they they were given a ticket by the Holyoke Police Department for serving alcohol outside of their 2 a.m. closing time.
So I'm sure everybody has heard of the incident that happened over this weekend. So we are here to kind of little bit discussion. It's still an ongoing investigation. So the second police report regarding that incident, June 1st, is more for our records because it's an ongoing investigation. And then prior to June 1st, there was an incident on May 21st that the police walked in, and it was after 2 a.m., about 2:30, the police report states, and there was about 12 to 15 people, and the music was very loud. They were drinking, the bartender was still mixing drinks. So bar shut down at 2 a.m. They should not have been open. They should have not been making drinks or collecting payments or any of that stuff. I also want to state that when we approved this license, we approved it for certain days. We asked what days they would be open, and that's exactly how the state approved it, which is starting on, it's ran through Thursday through Sunday, and it's the times defer. Those are the only days they're supposed to be open.
This happened on Tuesday.
And that happened on Tuesday. They're not supposed to be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, according to the schedule that they gave me.
So we have multiple violations here.
And a potential for a safety issue.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And this bar just opened 3 months ago.
Okay. So,
Somebody's trying to get in.
Oh.
Councilor Rivera.
Also, Jose Serrano claimed he was the bar manager. He is not the bar manager. Jasmine Alcevedo is the bar manager, and if he's not tip certified, he is not supposed to be behind that bar mixing drinks.
okay. What I would propose with this is, because we do now have our guidelines that speak to progressive discipline. And I think we can make a couple of steps on progressive discipline because we're looking at multiple issues here. So first and foremost, for the observation of members of the public being present after 2 a.m., I think that would call for a written reprimand now that is in their file. That would be one thing I'd suggest. Secondly, that they are operating outside the approved days and hours of their license. That's a second violation. That one, I would suggest that we notify them to come in here for a hearing regarding other potential consequences in July, or sooner if we feel it's urgent.
Correct.
Thirdly, we normally do expect to hear from the police department and the management or ownership of a bar if there's been loss of life. That's happened on at least 2 occasions in the time I've been here that I can recall. And so I think also in July, if the investigation is able to share information, and that's a police matter we can't control right now, but if there is available information in that, I think it would be important for us, separately from considering consequences for the operation violation, to hear more about this and make sure they have an awareness of what's going on and a sense of a plan for, ensuring public safety, which is consistent with what we've done. And I think we've seen responsible bar owners be very responsive to that and, do a pretty good job of making sure their facilities are safe after an incident has occurred. So,
Yes.
so that would, those would be sort of 3 steps. Number 1, a written reprimand. I don't think we even need a hearing for that, but it means we already moved down that level with the progressive consequences. A hearing for next time so they can have proper notice of a hearing, at which point we can make whatever determination we need to. And third, to just hear more about what we know about the relationship of this loss of life and the operation of the bar.
So, sorry, the first one was the written reprimand letter, then you said the second one was also a violation operating outside the days?
Yeah.
On time.
Okay.
Day
So-
and time.
Both, yeah.
So,
And so that's two
two-
violations.
so that's two
That's right.
violations according to our license board regulation manual for two violations, and I know we need to have a hearing about this, for second violation, suspension of alcohol license for 3 to 15 days.
Yep.
So that would mean if we have a hearing and we find them that they violate, that they have two violations, then the minimum punishment we can give them is to shut them down for 3 days.
Now, this is one
That's according to
incident.
our
This is
manual.
one incident.
Yeah,
I think
Well,
the
but
violation
it's-
portion of it,
yeah. And that's the thing.
it's the same incident.
Yeah.
But it's two separate violations.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
it's
So we need to
operating
revisit that.
outside of when you applied for if you applied for your license on certain
Yeah.
days and you're operating out of it, that's one violation. And then operating outside of, which we currently observe in Holyoke, are state hours for serving liquor, which is up till 2 a.m. So those are two, I know it's happening at the same time, but those are two violations.
No,
It's not
and
two separate incidents. It's happening the same day, happening the same incident.
But besides that incident, they're operating outside their
Yeah.
approved days
Yeah.
in general.
That's, so,
yeah, I'm really with Anthony in this mindset in that it's like having two counts
Yeah.
when there's been events that have taken place.
Right.
And one count can result in our just doing that first disciplinary step. The second one, at least 3 days of suspension are on the table.
okay.
On the table. It's not a done deal yet. They get
And
to have a
in-
real
And
hearing.
in addition to that, I believe there was, okay, I'm in line with that now, but in addition to that, you did mention something about the Mrs. Serrano being the person being certified or not.
Right.
It was not the person being certified.
If he's not the bar manager as he.
So that's
and-
another,
I mean, it's,
That's
the
three.
license should be hung up, so when PD
You're right.
walked in, if they would've looked at the license, they would've realized he's not Jasmine Acevedo. And
You're right.
again, if he's not
Right.
tip certified, he's not
You're
supposed to
right.
be
So that's a
behind that bar.
Potentially, and we should be looking at
And
that.
I don't have proof
Yep.
of his tip certification. He was not a bartender that was
as
brought
it
to
led
our
the police to
knowledge.
believe that he was, okay.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a third.
Right. It is, although his misstating what his role with this bar is to a police officer, the next question needs to be, well, what management were you doing, Ms. Serrano?
Right,
So we don't know anything about that.
Right.
The
yet.
place or the bar,
Right.
yeah, okay.
but his name is not.
Right.
We have Counselor Jenny Rivera here. I don't know if
Yes.
she reached out regarding this matter because the public has just been going insane over this incident. I don't know if you want to speak or have anything
Yeah,
to say
please.
to the board, but right now would be the opportunity.
Thank you for coming in.
So I wasn't prepared to come in and speak. I was just going to listen. But again, all the emails, all the phone calls I've been getting. And I did put a post on Facebook, which I believe Mr. Luciano did see it, where I would like to see how we could get together somehow and change policies. I think we should set up a policy where at maybe 1:30, lights go on, music comes off, and slowly start taking them out of the area. So if anything does happen, maybe the owners are not there. Not sure if this was the case in this, to a lot of things I've heard. But I would like to work with you guys and see where we need to put policies, because as you all know, I'm also the public safety chair.
Right.
So safety for me, it's like,
And- And if, please.
Well, actually, I can speak to an update on your request for a policy change. The mayor sent out an email earlier this afternoon to Alex, myself, Lisa Ball at the legal department, city solicitor, Aaron Vega, for us to all work together to come up with some policies to present to the license board that has to do with when to stop serving, when lights go on, when everyone has to be out, when the music stops, people not entering after 1 o'clock So once 1 a.m. comes, once you exit, no one new can come in. So it's just to discuss policies like that can be presented to the board to approve going forward.
Perfect.
So
Similar to what you
Yeah.
were suggesting.
Yeah, very much favor that. Little clarification to look for as we move forward with this. I'm not 100% clear about closing times, whether that is a matter of city ordinance that the city council completely controls, or if it's something that we
I can speak on that.
manage. Awesome, what do you know?
So, the state of Massachusetts has a 2 a.m. closing time. Local municipalities can then alter that, never making it later, but can make it earlier. So when you go to certain towns like on Cape Cod or I think Springfield,
It stops every an
they
hour
close at
before.
1 a.m.
Right.
Even and like for instance in Northampton, the bars up there they close at 1 a.m. but there's no entry after midnight.
So
So
you know,
it's different rules like
right.
that.
And so what would be great to learn, Springfield's a great example. Is that an ordinance in the city ordinances, or is that a regulation promulgated by the license
I
board?
believe they stop
Regulation.
serving half hour before or an hour
No,
before.
so, all the state says is that they have to stop serving, at 2 a.m. They can't serve between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. But doing the research around the surrounding cities, they each have their own policy in the license board that says by 1:30 you have to,
Usually.
last call, by 1:45 you stop serving drinks, you turn on the lights, and by 2 a.m. everybody has to be out of the establishment
And those are written regulations by their license boards?
by the license board.
Okay, so,
Which we can do
yeah.
the same.
And one more thing to add,
Yeah.
this came in an email today. The city of Holyoke just is in the process of hiring either a solicitor or a junior solicitor from Springfield. So I believe that new person is going to work with us
Gonna have some
when they start,
familiarity. Great.
has the experience of Springfield.
Dealing
Great.
with that.
So the one other thing I will add, we as a group cannot deliberate this unless we have a posted meeting and get together. And because of the open meeting law, there's 3 of us. Oh, no 2 of us can be together without posting for a meeting. So I do think it makes a lot of sense for the different city departments to be working together on this. But one designee, which would normally be the chair, doesn't have to be, but one designee from the license board is the only person who can go and participate in that on our behalf without having to post for it being a kind of a license board meeting, I believe. So I think having a designee from our board to craft what would come before us.
Yeah,
and-
so I started
yeah.
that.
Awesome.
I started
Yeah.
crafting, so,
Yep.
because the sooner the better, right? We want to kind of put this in place immediately. If you have any ideas, any recommendations, feel free to email them to me. I will put them on the sheet I'm working on, send it out, and, and tweak it as needed. But I don't mind working together, and creating something that, works best for the city.
Okay, that's
And-
perfect.
In my email to you, I believe I copied Alex. So just in reply to that, I'd like to be included too, in whatever, just to see what your ideas are.
Yeah, and I'll keep you posted, like, as I draft. I just started it, like, this afternoon, so, I'll include you in the email, of drafting, so you can look at it and tweak it or add whatever, whatever you feel like is gonna help.
Right.
Okay,
The-
that's
the one-
perfect.
The one thing I would really want to see as this process goes forward, this doesn't affect the one business that's the center of the concern right now. This affects a
No, it's in
lot of
general.
businesses in the
Yeah.
city of Holyoke. So making sure there's opportunity for people who have seen it in advance, have a chance to be heard and weigh in, absolutely has to happen.
This,
Yeah.
we were talking and we were thinking about, this would get sent out with renewals, because renewals are right around the corner.
Good idea.
Right, but before we vote and approve the regulation, I want our businesses to have an opportunity to comment on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, that would be perfect. And also, I see that Councilor Israel Rivera's on. He's the chair of ordinance, and I'm late to my meeting at ordinance. I am part of that one as well. So
We'll get
I
you
would
right
have a
on.
talk with Councilor Israel Rivera, because we want this across the board. We don't want any business thinking we're targeting them. We want it across the board, and we need the safety.
Yes.
And Counselor, one thing Alex and I were discussing earlier as well that we'd like to push for is requiring every alcohol on-premise establishments to have a security plan in place as well.
Because other surrounding cities, it is a requirement, like when they come in and apply for an alcohol license, they have to submit a safety plan to the license board with the application. So again, it's just ideas that we'll see what works.
Okay, that's perfect. I will be sending my ideas out. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to working with you, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
for coming
Counselor.
in.
You're welcome.
So we still need to make, I guess the motion is gonna be around a hearing, having Deja Vu come in for a hearing,
In
right?
July.
Let me do three motions.
Ooh.
The first motion, I move that a letter of reprimand for the police report regarding operation after 2 a.m. be issued to the owners of Deja Vu.
Okay,
That's one motion.
one motion.
Shall we go ahead and vote on that and then move to the next?
I'll second that.
Should we do the,
All
should we
three?
do the letter, should we do the letters first? Because the reprimand letters, I think, is gonna have multiple parts. Because they've also, shouldn't we reprimand them also for operating on days they said they wouldn't?
Not necessary, because the next motion I'm going to make is for a hearing where we can address all of those things.
Okay.
We only have to reprimand them for one thing, and it's
Okay,
done.
got it, okay. So,
First letter.
Second
can we
that.
get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. So, motion was approved to send out a letter to Deja Vu, a reprimand letter.
Yeah.
And let's give her a second to
No,
to
I'm
write it
good.
down.
I'm good, I got it.
You're good? Second
one?
motion.
Sure. And
I move that the owners of Deja Vu be summoned for a disciplinary hearing to be scheduled at our July meeting regarding the complaints of their operations outside of the time of their license and the question about the management, the status of their management.
And operating on days.
Yeah,
that
he
they-
said
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
He said that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be for 3 items. It's gonna, the hearing is gonna be for 3 items, no?
Well,
It's gonna be for
The hearing will
serving
open up
serving
the whole
outside
thing.
their hours.
Well, we've already reprimanded them for that. That's done.
But we have to have a hearing on that.
Well, they can
The hearing
certainly
will-
give us their side of the story at that time.
Yep.
We could even withdraw the reprimand if we found out it's all a terrible mistake of some kind. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But,
it is part of it.
wait. So you're saying the only reprimand is a letter in that situation?
As of right now.
I want you to go back to the manual and realize that we are supposed to be following a process of progressive discipline.
Okay,
So-
now I got it, okay.
Right.
So you're
Just checking that first box.
Just
So-
as of right now.
Just as of right now?
Right.
Right, that's the
But-
first step.
Okay,
Raising the stakes that they're going to be facing when they come in for this disciplinary
Right.
hearing.
It's basically an invitation, but also a reprimand at the
Right.
same time.
Right, because if they don't show up,
Right.
we'll have a hearing.
Right.
And read what we've got in front of us, or hear from police department personnel, and we'll dole out what we think is appropriate.
Yep.
So it's very much in their interest they be here.
now, when you make the motion for the hearing, because that's a whole month away, should we have this hearing in 2 weeks?
I actually think we should give the circumstances regarding the loss of life a little time to evolve.
Yeah, and also because at that time, we should have more information regarding the
yeah.
whole investigation, because as of
Okay.
right now, there's a lot of
Right.
gray areas.
Right.
Okay.
But also outside the motion, if something happens
Right,
in the course of the month of June, we can meet again in 48 hours.
yes.
Okay. And I want to,
Yes.
Sergeant Reid, would you like to say something about this incident?
Yes, am I allowed to speak?
Yes,
Yeah, you
Yes,
can come up to
come
the
on.
mic, please. So,
encouraged,
I got the
actually.
second motion so far,
So you got the motion?
second one.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for the third.
So again, my name is Sergeant Zerhag with the Holyoke Police Department. I'm here on behalf of Chief Pratt. As you guys are talking about what happened this past weekend at the club, I'm not allowed to say much right now. It is an ongoing investigation. But what I can tell you is that once that investigation is complete, we would be more than happy to share the reports with you and let you know. I'm in contact with multiple of you. So I will send you an update when I can, and then we'll be able to forward over the reports for your review as soon as we're wrapped up and allowed to.
Based on that, I don't need the third motion. It's just going to be a letter to the police department asking for that. So I think we're
They'll
covered.
be doing it already.
I think we're good.
Okay, so
Thank you.
thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
so we still need to approve the second motion then?
Yes.
Okay, so the second motion is to have a disciplinary hearing next month.
Correct.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All three commissioners present have voted in favor of that.
Yes.
Great. So,
Thank you. Have a
thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you very much.
For coming in. Now, on to something we discussed at the last meeting, as I mentioned, as something I'd like to see when the mayor was here. Wait. Yeah, review of motor vehicle licenses, missing number of spaces. So, do you know which licenses don't have spaces that we need to review? And not that we're gonna do it tonight. but
Yeah,
just
there's
to-
only about like 2 or 3 licenses, motor vehicle shops that don't have a number. They have to have a number. They have to have a plaque actually that reflects the number. I'm currently reaching out with DPW to see if the plaques come from them since they do signs. I'm waiting to hear back from them, but I can go. I know like the 3, so I can bring them up next month's meeting, or I can send them out via email and see how we wanna address that.
So, do we need to bring them in?
I don't know.
I don't think we do. We just need to work it to make sure that the plates gets done. And
Yeah, so obviously for
Yeah.
like this year, it's, I mean, I'm not the board to do anything, but since renewals, obviously they come approaching really fast, I think for renewal 2025, everybody should have a number just to be fair across the board.
They should. I'm quite surprised we got away from that notion of them having that on display. Because that
Yeah.
was approved many years ago.
And when I looked, they did have a number, and then within time, it just kind
It
of,
just disappeared.
yeah,
So, given that it comes up, we should probably start discussing it next month.
For
But it
sure.
will be for the assignment of the next
Right,
renewal.
right.
Because if we decided to do it when the renewal comes up, we may not agree on it.
We
Right.
might be late
And,
or, yeah.
and what will help with that is, by doing so, we'll have been given public fair warning
Exactly.
to anybody impacted.
That's coming.
and I can include it in those specific renewals, I can include something in that, just
Right.
saying, you haven't had a number, just FYI.
Right. I don't want anyone feeling like we snuck.
No.
something
What happened
out.
for the new?
No,
Right,
no,
yeah.
no, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Okay, great. And next, we have the guidelines for extension of premises to patio and outdoor area. And so Alex has been working on a document because, so for outdoor serving areas, for extending that, or even adding it in if someone doesn't even have a space, right?
Yeah,
It's not
so-
just an extension.
Yep,
It's-
so as of May 1st, Healy passed the law to go alcohol for restaurants. The thing with that is you have to purchase food in order to get alcohol to go. And then the second thing they passed was now the local licensing has all the authority when it comes to extending the liquor license to like a patio or outside. That no longer requires state approval.
Oh, wow.
So what I've been doing, and I apologize, but I can email it to you guys. I've created a document, and it kind of like snips and bits from other cities, how they, oh, there you go.
There
Yes,
you go.
I'm sorry.
But I have to
You did
admit,
post that
I
in there.
have not
Thank
read it
God, I'm
carefully.
like,
Yeah,
oh
the
my
bottom
God,
at the
I'm
end.
Yeah.
I know I did it, right here.
Yeah.
So this is what I came up with. This is kind of like the guidelines and the kind of the requirements, the application. The application with the city logo is kind of something, it's a state form, but I just took out the state information and put our information because it no longer needs to go to the state. So we have all that purview now, which is another
Good.
thing on our plate.
Should we take this to review it
Yeah,
for next time? Perfect,
absolutely, yep.
perfect. Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
So let me ask you though, what do we do if over the next month someone wants to apply for this?
Yeah,
We will stay under the purview of what we've been doing.
Right.
How do we deal with this?
yeah, I think we can take them on a individual basis, right? Because we're not gonna
Yeah.
meet again until July, so
Yeah.
either
Right.
way, this won't get approved until July. But I can at least have them fill that out, send you guys the information, and if it's good enough, I don't see why we can't start.
So I guess that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
If someone
Yeah.
were to apply, while this is in the works,
Right.
can we have someone fill it out?
I'm all for it, because I
Yeah.
don't.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
my concern.
1,000%. We don't
'Cause
want to
otherwise-
lose the whole summer over.
You don't want to
your
hold
app.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
That
And
was
it's
my
kind
concern.
of like tables and chairs, except it's just now, I mean, it's the extension of the alcohol.
Okay.
And you did a really good job on this. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I know you worked. I know you worked hard on this.
Yeah,
Very good.
thank you.
Okay.
So,
Well, even the insurance has to
Uh,
stand out.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And now we're up to approval of the meeting minutes for April 9th meeting and May 1st meeting, which you sent out a few weeks back. I
Yes.
actually
Yep.
finally read
Yep.
them. I did go through them this morning.
Yep.
And any questions on them?
No.
Those were fine. I
Make a motion, we
them.
approve.
Second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
So
I-
moved.
I do want to ask, while on the subject of minutes, is there a time frame where you think some of the backlog minutes will be coming forward?
Honestly, Mike, I don't, with everything that's been going on and all the new stuff that they just keep piling on me. I am working on them little by little. There's an intern out of the office. I'm hoping she's gonna start helping me with the minutes. But if I keep getting bombarded with all this stuff, it's,
All this new
you know, it's
stuff.
kind of hard. It's like I need two of me right now with
Yeah.
the last couple weeks I've had. It's
But-
so much.
My belief and suggestion is that this is something that I think is worth outsourcing. Like, cities should spend the money
I agree.
so that people can go back, look at the recordings of them, have a stenographer just create something that is a good summary minute. These are requirements of the open meeting law. It's not the open meeting suggestion.
Right.
And it is not fair to you to expect this backlog. But, you know, I think that is a question for, you know, city leadership to say, can we get a price on this and get it done? Because it is a growing concern with each month that goes by for me.
Yeah.
So one update. Alex has new technology for meetings going forward, right?
Yeah, so it's AI, we're currently being recorded through AI, so this is
So-
like a call for
It will-
note taker. So moving forward, like
Yeah.
next month, you will see June, you will see July, cause this is kind of summing it up for me. But it's, again, as far as like your question was the backlog.
Yeah.
I had a week that was the only thing I was supposed to do, and honestly, since everything's been going on, the amount of bar owners that have been coming into my office with concerns is outrageous. And they literally spend 30 to 45 minutes just talking, and I'm not gonna rush, I'm not gonna rush them out of my office, but it's,
Yeah.
I need two of
They
me.
need that. And the two of you is, in my mind, us advocating for additional support for this one specific task to be
Yeah.
done.
So then I would suggest, Aaron's aware of my opinion. I've asked him before. I don't think there's city money for it. So maybe if you want to reach out and
Yeah.
with your suggestion to outsource it. He
Right.
did outsource some of them, and I didn't. I found out after it was for a few months. Remember there was
Yeah, it
or
was
a
2 or
month.
3 sets.
2 or 3 sets. So if, I know you have a very strong opinion. I believe in other departments, they've also been behind on minutes. So it is kind of a reoccurring problem in the city.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
But
so-
I am trying, like, I
Right.
do want
But
you to know, like, I
And
am,
believe me, this is not one where I'm saying this is the result of a staff member who's refusing to do their job.
No.
Far from it.
no.
It
it's
is
not like
a
that.
situation that has been longstanding, that support is necessary. And, the city is a $100 million plus operation. Sometimes you have to find some resources for compliance.
I agree. But, I'm hoping at least 2 to, like, if I can keep up with the minutes and then add 1 or add 2, like, that's my goal. Sometimes that goal just can't get completed sometimes.
Fair.
But I do want you to know, like, I'm not ignoring, like, your concern, and I'm absolutely, like, am trying to work on it. Like, any downtime I have, I am working on minutes.
Appreciate it. Okay, great.
And so, are we good with that?
Yeah, and we voted on the minutes already, right?
We
Yes.
voted on the minutes, and matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair. I don't think we have anything.
No, there's nothing. Somebody was supposed to come, but they're not here, so there's no need to bring it up.
See you in July.
For July, the reason why I didn't put a specific date is because our July meeting is scheduled for July 3rd. I normally take the week of July 4th off, that whole week,
I will make a suggestion, we push the 10th.
right? That's what I was thinking,
see
and I
any
blocked
issues.
it off.
100%.
Yeah, okay, perfect, July 10th.
So we're July 10th, and there's no problem with the gap?
No.
For the number of weeks?
No.
Okay.
It gives people more time to submit their application.
Hopefully no one has an event.
Especially
I
for all
like
this.
If something
I
like
like
that pops up, we can just do a quick notice on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But everybody knows we meet once a month and supposed to bring in their applications in a timely manner. I will keep you posted on the location. I will reach out to Scott again to see if Holyoke media is available, but it'll be between here or the chamber.
Okay.
Oh,
And that was
I
a
just-
nice space.
I know.
yeah, I'm sorry,
Well, I mean,
I just
still
noticed that
lights.
on July 10, it's my wife's operation,
Okay,
but it's during the
Um,
day, so I'm hoping that everything will be fine by the afternoon. and
you
then-
wanna do Tuesday the 9th?
I can't do
You
Tuesdays.
can't, oh, you can't do Tuesdays,
How
okay.
about Thursday?
Thursday?
I could do Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
Thursday
minute.
the 11th?
Wait, oh, I apologize. I'm gonna be in Washington DC that week.
Okay, so-
Okay, so it's fine, we can,
Let's do the 15th, middle of the month.
okay.
Or
Oh, I don't know that we can go that many weeks.
so how about this?
That's a Monday, that 15 is a Monday.
We can do a hybrid meeting, right?
It's only 3,
So Zoom
4
works
days.
in Washington DC, no issue.
Okay.
I'm still good for the 10th.
Oh, Zoom, that's right, you can.
Yeah, yeah.
Zoom works from Washington?
It-
Yeah,
On a
For
good day,
everywhere.
if the weather's right.
Works for everywhere.
Yeah.
So 10.
so the 10th, you guys
Yeah.
sure? Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, the 10th is a Tuesday? Is a
It's a Wednesday,
It's a
yeah,
Wednesday,
but Jose's
so.
wife has.
Oh, wait,
surgery.
I'm
surgery.
hoping, I'm
Oh,
hoping
okay.
that she'll,
That.
I'm hoping that surgery.
But you can
Well,
log
what
in via
about-
Zoom if you can't leave either.
Yeah, if I
What
cannot leave her, then I'll log
You
into
know what,
Zoom.
but I really wouldn't want to divert your attention either.
No,
Yeah.
but it is an important meeting in July because of.
It is.
So
So what about the, wait,
how about the 11th?
the
About
11th?
Monday, the 8th.
Yeah,
But that's right after she's comes
So-
back from vacation, is that
Yeah.
okay?
That's fine. I'll have somebody post the agenda.
So posted the week early, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Monday, the 8th.
okay. That'll work.
So July 8th. Next. All right, perfect.
And,
This wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
well, the 46 or 47 just seemed like a lot.
It looked huge, but it wasn't so bad.
But it
I
went-
was like, oh my
Okay,
God.
I need to be in Southampton
yeah.
like 10 minutes
So
ago.
want to make a motion to close the license board meeting for Wednesday, June 5th at 6:48 PM. Can I get a second?
You have it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Thank you.
Thank you.